Wow, this is getting exciting. How is everybody doing? Welcome to the show, everyone. We are so excited that you are here with us today. This is going to be something like you've never experienced before. Marnie is here. We are putting the final touches on the show. She is so excited. And you're all wondering, well, who I am. Well, I have been blessed to work with Marnie almost from day one as one of the producers here at Dating with Dignity, and it's super exciting. Today, though, my role is I'm going to be the handsome sidekick. So you may or may not agree with that. Hopefully you will. I'm, affectionately called once in a while by Marnie that, and also kind of like, the dating den. This is kind of my position. I used to help produce all the dating dens with Christian Anderson and all the other guys. Now the roles are changing a little bit. Here I am at the helm, also producing, but I'm also kind of on camera. So exciting to be here. What I want to do right now is I just want to kind of check in. And I want everybody in all the comments and all the different Facebook groups and YouTube, wherever you are, to do first off a couple of things. Let's just check in and see exactly where you are in the country, where you are. If you are in Los Angeles, if you're in Canada, I know some people were going to get on from New York and Florida. So go ahead and just let me know where people are coming from. All right, so we've got someone who is here. Hello. Someone says, hello, I'm first. You're the first one in. Well, congratulations, Chris Nill. If I got that correctly, congratulations. Thank you. You are here. You are on. You are live. Where's everybody else joining us from? Go ahead and put it right into the comments there. If you put it into the comments, we can see it right here. So let us know where else you guys are coming to us from. All right, well, Hong Kong, look at that. Hong Kong, she's watching us from. We've got Florida in the house. Welcome, Hannah from Florida. We're so excited to have you here. Peggy in from San Diego. Thank you, Peggy, for joining us. And Celia from San Diego. This is really exciting. Look at everybody telling us where they're from. This is fantastic. Celia from San Diego. Courtney, also from San Diego. Welcome, Courtney. We're excited to have you here. Denver, Colorado in his house. Allie is here with us tonight doing that. And of course, greetings, Liz. Thank you from San Diego. Boy, a big contingent from San Diego. You guys have like a little quarantine party. It's certainly going on down there. Look at this. Colorado is checking in with Carol. And we've also say hi from Kathleen in New Jersey. New Jersey. My buddy lives in New Jersey. Yeah. Kimberly from Northport, Maine. Look at this. Wilmington, Delaware East, completely coastal. Love it. And and Joanna says, where is the video? It's 8 p.m. Eastern. Is it live or just a photo? Well, the fact that you're writing a comment is telling us that you are coming into the feed. If you are not seeing it, maybe refresh your browser. Maybe you can't see us. All right, so we got quarantine with dignity. Yes, that is what this is all about. So let's get to it right now. It's going to be very exciting. If you guys are able to, some of you are watching from Facebook and all of our different groups there right now. What we want you to do is if you know Marnie or if you think that this could help somebody, go ahead and click that share button right underneath the video here. So go ahead and click share. This way you will be able to help a friend, because you know what? There is nothing better than helping somebody who keeps dating the same guy or keeps calling you up and complaining. I know that you guys are here for this as well, but you sometimes have that friend that keeps saying, I got ghosted again. I don't know what I did. We had such a great date. Everything went so well. It was so beautiful. And then he didn't call me. I don't know why. Like, was it me? Did I not do the right things? Well, you're going to find out now and forever why you got ghosted and how to stop it for good. It's all going to happen. So what you want to do is click that share button below so that it goes out to your feed, so it goes out to your friends, so you get saved. And in just a second here, I'm going to tell you who is going to be our guiding light, our person that is going to take us through this. For those of you that don't know Marnie, she's been doing this for over 10 years. She is fantastic. Now, I've had the privilege, like I said, working with her from almost day one, but I want to just tell you some of the amazing things that Marnie's done. Marnie is a certified professional dating relationship coach and expert. And check this out. Some of you may know Ryan Seacrest, right? Yeah. My good buddy Ryan Seacrest. Well, not only has he got like every show in the country and around the world. But he also called and dubbed Marnie the best dating coach in LA. And Marnie has also been, I don't just take Brian's word for it, okay, but she's also been the expert for Dr. Phil and Dr. Drew. Now, not only Dr. Drew, but she has also worked with Dr. Drew in a way like no other. She not only was just the guest on the show, but she did so great as a guest. Dr. Drew's like, hey, Marnie, we need someone to help fill in for us. Can you do it? And Marnie's like, yeah. So Marnie has been called by all the people that do relationship stuff and helping everybody. She's helping high achieving women find amazing quality men and live fulfilling lives. Not only have I seen it, I've witnessed it, I've heard testimonials. It's amazing and it works. And today she's going to be here with you talking about why men disappear. And is it something you did and how to get ghosted for good? Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us bring the lovely and beautiful Marnie Batista onto the show with us.
Hi. Did you just call me beautiful because I called you handsome?
Yes. Yeah. Handsome, beautiful. We are carrying the show here.
I love that. Ladies, that was flirting. I just flirted just in case you need a little tip on what flirting looks like. Welcome. I'm so excited to be here. It's so fun to do this live. We've been doing these live shows and it's just a blast to be able to get your comments and hear your questions. And we're going to talk about why the hell, except actually can I say the F word now, Craig?
That soon?
No, can I still say it on this?
Yeah, go for it.
What the fuck? Would someone just tell me why men disappear? It doesn't make sense on any planet, on any level. And my kids taught me something recently. Check this out. There's a whole new way of ghosting. Maybe you've had it happen to you. When you're texting with a guy and you leave a comment, right? You make a message and then all he does is like, ha it or heart it. Guess what that's called? A soft ghost. Right? Don't you hate that? They don't actually respond. They just like ha it or thumbs up it. There are so many ways to be ghosted. So this little chat is for you if you are a successful single woman and everything in your life is pretty freaking amazing. This is the one piece of the puzzle that you cannot figure out. And what you really want is to have an amazing person to share your amazing life with. It's just the one thing that you've not been able to solve. This is also for you. And I think this is really important. Like there is some crazy chaos going on in our world right now. And I think what's true is that for most of us, COVID-19 has really shown us what is actually important in our lives as we have sort of had to remove so many things, right? And so this is for you if in this forced experiment that you have had, you realize that you want someone to share your life with. I've heard women say, I don't ever want to have to go through anything like this again alone. People have shared with me that they're experiencing literal skin hunger, right? It's a thing that is actually happening now. And if you've realized that the guy who was sort of there for you before now is just like totally disappeared, right? With all of the restrictions and limitations, this is totally for you if you're ready to finally solve the problem. And this is for you if you are ready to actually make a choice and take responsibility to figure out how in the hell you can get back some damn control in this whole ghosting thing. Now, I saw this once, I went to a live show of Jimmy Fallon. You know what he did when he had a card that he was done with? He threw it away. I've always wanted to do that. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Has anyone been watching Jimmy Fallon at home? Craig, have you been watching Jimmy Fallon at home? Jimmy Kimmel, any of those?
No. Not too much of those guys.
Basically, it's this.
I gotta sleep. I got kids.
I know. It's true. Well, you can watch them on YouTube, but not now. Okay. So here's what we're going to do in the next 45 minutes. I'm going to tell you the exact things that you do that actually cause men to disappear and ghost. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to help you understand why men ghost, soft ghost, flake, act into you, and then totally pull away. I'm going to explain that to you. I'm going to show you how you can finally stop obsessing about it. Facebook stalking, Instagram stalking, liking his story, but then not actually talking to him. I'm going to show you how you can stop tossing and turning at night, replaying the whole date in your mind and like trying to figure out what's that one thing that maybe you did. I'm going to show you how you can stop just asking your girlfriends for their opinion, to kind of do like do you think I did anything wrong? So we're going to go over that. I'm going to help you answer the question, why the hell am I still single? And I'm going to answer the question, why is nothing working for me? Because I'm going to tell you the number one blind spot that most women that we work with are unable to see, that's actually the cause and the root of their problems dating. Okay, so let's talk about what happens if you don't figure this out. And this is, I was saying this the other day, this is part of my role as a coach, as a mentor. That is the hardest part. But I don't want to have to sort of like make you look at how much it sucks. But the truth is, most of us are really good at coping, at rationalizing, at numbing out. A lot of that's been taken away, right? Because we can't go to the gym sometimes, depending upon where you are. You can't go out with your friends. You can't go on trips. There's only so much remodeling of your bathroom and planting in your backyard that you can do, right? And so what I really want you to understand is that if you do not solve this problem at the root, right, really get to the underlying reason of why men are disappearing, why you're not meeting a great guy, you are going to be stuck in Groundhog Day. Or if you've seen that movie, Palm Springs, right? It's a modern day Groundhog Day. It's like every day is the same. And what happens then is you actually get so emotionally triggered and traumatized that the chemicals that go in your body impact your ability to sleep. It impacts how much belly fat you have as you age, right? All those chemicals, cortisol, adrenaline. It impacts your ability to feel like you are living the life you're meant to live. When you don't fix it, you start making backup plans and trying to sell yourself on why it's okay to like be alone forever. And it's lonely, right? That skin hunger, feeling like someone just is there for you because you are going to have sex with them, feeling like you did something wrong, beating yourself up. If you look at the percent of your day that is impacted by having a thought, getting triggered, seeing someone, holding hands, being on all those freaking Zoom parties, birthdays, and there's two people sharing a screen and you're sharing one, right? That is the pain that is not going to go away. And what I want you to understand is that this is an opportunity to actually get to the root problem. Okay. If you solve it, then you get to wake up feeling like you are on purpose, that someone really sees you, that someone respects you, that you feel like someone really, really loves you for exactly who you are. You get to watch sunsets together. You get to watch Palm Springs together. You get to have someone to celebrate with. You get to have someone to grow old with. You get to have someone to be your date at your kid's wedding. You get to have everything that you really want in your life that makes you feel like you were here for a reason, right? That there's like a little bit more of a legacy than just your work or maybe even your kids, right? It's about having that life that feels like it's on fire. Okay. So I just had to tell you that part because again, it's so easy with dating. And I was just on a podcast today. Oops. And we were talking about how easy dating can become the last thing that you deal with, right? Because it's so easy to convince yourself to numb out, to put other people before you. Okay. So let's get started. So the number one thing, I'm going to talk to you about 5 different things you can do that are going to help you solve the disappearing man problem. All right. So number 1 is this. We want you to change your chemistry with men. Okay. What do I mean by that? Let's do a little true or false game, first of all. So Craig, do you have a little slide for me? A little true or false? Okay, so I have a true or false, and you guys, now that we're actually live, we can play. We couldn't play this on the weekend. So true or false, ladies? Men can clearly identify why there is or there is not chemistry. Is that true? That men can clearly identify why there is or is not chemistry. Craig, what do we got? We see any of the comments?
Get ready.
Okay.
They're typing.
They're typing. Okay. True or false? Men can clearly identify why there is or is not chemistry. True, false, true, false, false, true.
Carol says true.
Okay. Anyone else playing? If we could give prizes, we would give one to Carol.
Galina says false.
Ah, interesting. Okay. Anybody else?
Mr. Marmello says what? No way. Courtney says false. Naomi says false. Boy, they're all coming in a lot. Liz says false. Donna says true. Cheryl says false. Well, they're coming in quick.
All right.
Estelle says true. Monique says false. Ali says false.
So
Kathleen
interesting.
Says clear ? False. Then we've got one that says don't give them the power. And then we got another one that says true and true.
Okay. All right. I love it. By the way, I have something a little bit in my eye. So if you notice that I'm doing that, it's because I'm trying to low-key fix it and look calm and cool and collected. Okay. So here's the answer. Men can identify that there is not chemistry, but often they cannot exactly tell you why. It's just a vibe. It's just a thing. It's just a thing that they feel. It's just something that they know, right? And so often they'll just say, gosh, she was great on paper. She's super hot. She's so smart. And I bet you ladies have had that experience, right? You go out with a guy and you're like, oh, like I wish I had chemistry with him, but I just wasn't into it, right? So here's what I want you to understand, that men can experience you on a date as having a chemical vibe, right? And it's either going to be dissonant to them or it's going to resonate with them, right? And so what I want you to understand is that there are reasons and things we're going to talk about that you are actually doing that is what I call leaking chemistry that is pushing guys away. Okay, so let's talk about it. So let's talk about internal chemistry that creates this external chemistry, right? So imagine it's like a computer program. You know, you put in the data and then it shoots out like information, right? So what happens is that internally, right, you have had all these experiences. And I love that we have these comments today because all of you gave different answers, true and false, based on your experiences over your lifetime with men, right? And this stuff can go back, you know, from our parents, right? It can go back from the guy we dated in elementary school. I mean, literally a guy when I was 10 years old told me that I had a big butt. It was before the Kardashians. Now my kids are like, Mom, that was a compliment. Yeah. I'm like, in the 70s, Twiggy, like bell-bottom jeans, right? Like there was no such thing as curvy 10-year-olds. So we start to have, and then think about the guy when you were 16. Then there was the guy when you were 25. Then there the guy was you're 35. I was talking on Saturday when we did the live show that there was a woman who got blindsided with an engagement, like in her 30s, right? So all of these experiences are sort of like the luggage that we're carrying around inside. And as a result, we have a whole set of beliefs and rules and truths about men, sex, and dating. We react accordingly because guess what? Our brain does not want to experience pain, right? Our brain does not want to experience pain. And so we do a couple of things. We armor up. We get defensive. We get shut down. We don't want to be comfortable sharing our feelings. We don't want a guy to maybe even know how much we like him. We want to wait and make sure if he's into us first. We don't even want to ask for what we want. We don't even feel comfortable sometimes asking to get our needs met. right? And so what happens is like we swerve and we get uncomfortable, we second guess ourselves, we have regret. And all of those experiences, if you imagine, my dad used to call it the pinch factor, right? So imagine every single negative interaction you've had with every single man. And I'm not even talking about the ones that you actually met. I'm talking about those guys who asked you for a picture of your boobs. I'm talking about the guy who sent you a dick pic. I'm talking about the guy, like my guy in when I was in 5th grade, Kent Roeder, if you're watching, but I already told him he did this. He apologized. But like, if you think of every little infraction with a guy that you've ever had, that pinch adds up till you are carrying around all this weight on your shoulders. And what happens? You feel like you have to protect yourself. You put on like boxing gloves, right? So you're out there dating and you're like bobbing and you're weaving and you're throwing a punch every once in a while, sarcasm, right? Trying to figure it out. Your brain is constantly then trying to make meaning of everything that's going on around you in dating, all the questions that we got asked in the Facebook group over the last few days about why guys disappear. It's all our brain trying to feel safe, right? To get back in some sense of control, because life in the world of dating is 100% out of our control. So what happens? All these beliefs stack up. And every time we have that stressor, that trigger, it actually is an input of chemicals, right? Cortisol, adrenaline, all of that literally creates an energetic frequency. It's leaking out. You can imagine what yours looks like. In fact, let's ask them, Craig, if you were to imagine, what does your leaking look like? Right? Is it like a green slime? Is it black tar? Is it prickly? Maybe yours is like wet blankety. Like you're just like, ugh, why bother? Right? Like, I just want someone to like me. Right? Or maybe you're like, you know what? Prove to me you're not a jerk like all the rest of the guys. What does your leaking look like? Are we getting any comments? I know there's usually a little delay. We got to get at some comments on what does your leaking look like? Because I'm excited to hear this, because then you're going to understand what happens when you log on, when you go on a date, when you get on a FaceTime call, when you get on a Zoom call. Now, here's the crazy thing. This whole system is like you have a carbon monoxide detector built in so that you will avoid getting disappointed, getting hurt. Even when you get excited, there's a little part of you that hopes that the other shoe doesn't drop. Okay, what are some of our leakings?
One says mine is red and beefy looking.
Ooh, okay. Breaded beefy looking. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so imagine, and I really encourage you to like play, because when you get this out, it helps you actually change the wiring of your brain. But what I want you to understand is whatever that is getting transmitted. That leaking is getting transmitted to men. And it keeps getting reinforced over and over again, right? Because you keep having bad experiences, and that carbon monoxide detector is on high alert. You're either armored up or you're trying to deflect getting hurt. And what happens then is that you have opportunities and you're pushing men away, or you are so dissonant that you are not attracting men that you actually would resonate with. Right? Because your energy, your vibe isn't resonant to quality guys that don't ghost. Craig.
We have someone who says, Donna says, day glow orange. And we've got Tish that says lavender. Lavender, but I think she meant lavender.
Okay, great. So whatever that means for you, day glow orange, yes.
And one more says, it looks like sadness. Lorraine says it looks like sadness. Oh, and Carol starts saying that it looks like a sheet of steel. LOL. And Tish says lavender crush.
Lavender crush. Okay. So imagine, and I thank you guys for sharing, because every time you share someone else, even if they're a lurker or a liker, they go, oh God, that one is mine. Totally. So thank you, ladies, for stepping out. So bottom line is curtain of steel, day glow orange. You're pushing men away, and the men that you want don't shop in the steel department or the day glow orange department or the lavender crush department. So the bottom line is that you are attracting the wrong men. You are pushing away the great guys, and you are literally living in a vibrational frequency. Let's just call it that. That is not resonant with the men that you want to be with. You are in dissonance. Okay. So that is number one thing you need to be aware of, is that you want to be able to create great chemistry. We have to actually shift the beliefs, the paradigms. We have to figure out what the hell they even are that's creating steel and Dayglow orange and lavender crush and red beefy, right? Because if we don't figure out what's underneath it, we can't ever change it. All right, number 2. This is so important. So all of this leaking is happening, and you've got this smoke detector, this carbon monoxide detector, and every time somebody disappears, ghosts, soft ghosts, rejects you, right? We start to actually, and it doesn't matter how amazing you are, right? Because when I talk to people, they kind of tell me for like 10 or 15 minutes how amazing they are, every single person. And then I'm like, why are you here? Underneath that, there's this little part of us. And sometimes it's like when you're lying in bed at night, or when another guy that said he was going to call doesn't, or the guy comes back after 6 months and you're like, should I take him back? Should I not? You start to undermine your self-worth. Right? So the second thing that I really need you to do to change your result is I need you to stop letting men determine your lovability, your self-worth. All right, Craig. You're going to be up here in a second. Now, this is really important. I told you that I would tell you why men disappear. And I'm just curious, actually, and maybe we could do this again. I'm really having fun with you guys being here. Why do you ladies think that men disappear? Why do they ghost? Why do you think they ghost? Because there's a lot of reasons. And so let's see if we can get some answers. I know there's a delay. Craig's like, yeah, there's a delay. Mm-hmm. Let's show the video.
Oh, you want to watch this?
Yep. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to cut to the chase. I'm going to tell you exactly why men disappear.
So he kissed me goodnight at the door. I invited him up. He couldn't because he had an early meeting. We kissed again, and he said he'd call.
2 kisses? Very promising.
You think, even though he didn't come up?
Definitely. It means he likes you, but he wants to take it slow. That's nice.
Berger, what do you think?
Really want to know?
Please, I would love to have a man's opinion for a change.
All right, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. He's just not that into you.
That's not true. Don't listen to him.
Oh, no, I'm intrigued. Elaborate.
Look, I'm sorry, but when a guy's really into you, he's coming upstairs, meeting or no meeting.
Oh, that is ludicrous. What about extenuating circumstances? What about you're stressed out, you're on deadline, you have a migraine? Or a lot of guys are afraid of getting their feelings hurt and they don't want to ruin a friendship.
Or they're freaked out by their own feelings. There's a lot of push-pull out there, a lot of mixed messages.
Yeah, I'd have to say that's all code for he's just not that into you. I'm sorry, but with guys, it's very simple. If we're into you, we're coming upstairs. We're booking the next date. There are no mixed messages.
No mixed messages, but
I've spent my whole life deciphering mixed messages.
I've made a whole career of it.
Wow, he's just not that into me. He's just not that into me.
Oh, honey, ignore this person. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
I love it. Okay, so Craig, did any of the ladies give us the same answers that our friends at Sex and the City gave us about why men disappear?
Sort of. We've got some that say afraid of commitment.
Yeah, that one was there.
No doubt self-worth is key. Dating multiple people.
Yeah.
Not just that into you, of
right?
Course. They are cowards.
Yeah, totally.
Cold feet when they're starting to feel something.
Yeah, that one was in there. Oh, they just can't handle all their feelings, so they really like you.
Again, we got just aren't
that into you. Okay, so this is great. So I love it also, by the way, some of the ladies answered, they're just not that into you, except you constantly are asking me and typing into Google, why did he disappear? The bottom line is this. I don't want you to care. I don't want you to care why they disappeared, because the bottom line is all of those reasons are true. There is no way that you will ever know, really, unless you ask why they disappeared. But your brain, the little carbon monoxide detector, is constantly trying to figure it out. Why? So that you can feel in control and feel safe. Right? So it's really, really, really important that you understand this idea. When you ask the question of your friends, why did he disappear? When you get an answer, I love this clip because they're like, ignore him, right? Like they get all the answers from the guy and she still says, oh, forget it, right? We're constantly looking at ways of how we can feel better, right? We Google something, we read a book, we ask our guy friends, we tell it was his loss, forget him, right? We do a lot of mental gymnastics to try and feel safe and in control. But the bottom line is this. It doesn't matter, because you are an amazing person. And what I want for you is to ultimately become what I call rejection proof, right? That you just chalk it up to the fact that he's got his own thing going on, right? And that you are able to turn on what we call on our campus a faucet of quality men, right? That are at your resonant level. So if one guy isn't really into you or it doesn't work out, you no longer take it personally. You are no longer collecting evidence of what's wrong with you, what's wrong with men, that your brain sort of stops the programming that is literally trying to make meaning of why you are single, right? Does that make sense? The bottom line, number 2, is this. You can spend a ton of energy, right, trying to feel better. Trying to feel better. What I want for you is being better, right? To stop trying all of these sort of band-aid approaches to feel better, to try and get your brain to feel safe. Rather, what would it look like if you were just better, right? If you loved yourself, if you were confident, if you were attracting the right kind of guys, if someone didn't happen to be your guy, you were sad, you had feelings about it, right? But you didn't have to be defensive. You didn't have to be protected. You didn't have to say, see, that's why I'm never opening up again. See, that's why I'm not going to get my hopes up, right? Instead, you're like, oh, that didn't work out. I'm collecting data about this guy. Now I learned, okay, great. Who's next? So I believe, do we have our guest? Mm-hmm. We do? So exciting. Okay. So she's going to come on in a second. So I want you to understand it this way. I think it's super simple. Is this. You don't have a guy problem. You have a reaction problem. Okay. You should write that down. You should type it in the comments just so that it stays in your brain. I do not have a guy problem. I have a reaction problem, right? Because you are the common denominator. You can only control yourself when you figure out how to do that, when you have a plan, when you have a dating strategy, when you have self-worth, right? Then it kind of doesn't matter if they're not into you. Okay. So the thing is, if you don't handle the problem, as I said before, and I'm sure you're all real smart, this cycle keeps perpetuating itself over and over and over again. Now let's talk about your brain again, because I'm all about brain science. So all those negative neural pathways keep getting embedded more deeply, more ingrained. The older you get, the more negative experiences you have, the harder it will be to change. So you need to put on the brakes from the negative cycle. And you need to be able to do number 3 on my little list here, right? Number 1 was create chemistry, good chemistry. Number 2 was own your self-worth. Stop letting men create your self-worth. And number 3 is you need to lose that last 10% that is the root cause of this crazy ass cycle, right? Because what happens is when you don't solve it, every single time there's an incompletion. I call it ghosting and incompletion. Again, you are reinforcing the negative patterns that are totally taking you away from your dating goal. It's like you're trying to push the gas and all of this crap is like pumping the brakes. And guess what? You feel like you're on a little hamster wheel. So when you lose the 10%, and I want to make sure I've got this queued up here. When you lose the 10%, you totally change your energy where you are on a completely different level of resonance, and you will start to actually attract a better quality guy. I can't wait for our guest to tell her story about it. The whole experience of you is totally different for men, right? When the sludge is gone, the wall of steel, all that stuff, when you stop leaking, and this is what's amazing because like 90% of the women out in the dating pool are leaking. When you lose the 10%, you become the top 10%. And when a quality guy meets you, he's like, holy crap, I got to keep her. I'm sure Craig can vouch this lady later, right? Because men are human and the quality guys are so sick of women who flake and are insecure and really needy and really aggressive and want to compete. I mean, Craig's over there shaking his head. Yes. Right. So when they meet you, because you handle your 10%, right? You're the top 10%. You're literally irresistible, which is why my cup says irresistible. All right. When you lose that 10%, when you handle the 10%, it's like lightning strikes. It does not need to be a long process. You will actually meet the right partner for you without having to settle. And I said on Saturday, I'm going to say it again. Hear me now. This means you don't have to like find a guy that's nice and all, but you're not attracted to him. I want you to meet a guy that you want to have sex with, that you want to kiss, right? So that's what's on the other side. When you finally lose the 10%, you become the top 10%. So to lose the 10%, you have to do three things. You have to reveal that 10%, what really is at the root of it. And you have to release it because just knowing about it doesn't do it, right? You have to change the neural programming, that program that you've been walking down that road again and again and again and again, right? We need to totally change the wiring and set our navigation for a completely different destination where the quality guys are. And then you have to rejuvenate. And what I mean by rejuvenate is you have to have a dating plan, especially now. But always, right? There's actually a strategy. People are always like, wait, there's a strategy? Yeah, there's a strategy. And so when you implement the strategy and you have removed that 10% and you're in the top 10%, meeting a great guy as soon as possible is just totally, in fact, the meeting the guy is like almost the easiest part. All right. So, and by the way, someone might think, oh, I'm too old, or you can't teach an old dog new tricks, or how do I change my brain? Well, here's the thing. You cannot think your way out of your thoughts, right? Like if you take all these notes today and then you go tomorrow and you're like, okay, Marty told me to be rejection proof. That ain't going to happen, right? Like the guy's going to ghost and there's going to be like a little trigger. And then you're going to remember what I said and you're going to try and feel better. And you probably will, but you won't solve the problem. Guess what? Our brains have this thing called neuroplasticity, which makes it super easy to change neural wiring. You just have to have a whole system to do it. Knowledge, neck up, information, highlighting will not change the pathway, but there is a pathway, right? So you reveal, you release, and then you rejuvenate. Now, here's the thing. When you rejuvenate, this is what your life totally looks like. Men are saying this to you, and you are saying this to you all the time. You ready, Craig?
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. 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 Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes.
I love that, right? Because that men are going to be saying yes to you because you're going to feel like a damn queen, right? You're going to be saying yes to you instead of like, what did I do wrong? Why didn't he like me? I better not do this to me. I swear I'm never again, right? That's over. Your life becomes yes. And if you want a guy to say yes to you, you have to start saying yes to yourself. Now, I'm super excited because I have a guest on today's show. And let's bring her up. This is Julie from Chicago. Julie!
Hi.
Hi!
How are
I
you?
told you that I was going to talk about you, and I decided today I wouldn't talk about you. I just invite you to be on the show.
Okay.
Okay. So have you been
Okay.
listening? Have you been listening?
Just a little bit. I was having some internet connectivity issues, but I think I'm all set. So
Well, the good thing is you don't have man connectivity issues.
I do not anymore.
Okay, good. All right. So what we've been talking about is that when you are rejection proof, when you handle the reveal, release, rejuvenate, you don't take it personally when somebody is not showing up the way you want them to, when they start to pull away or even ghost, and that you can be empowered to sort of make different decisions and have certain conversations, and then you can just turn on the faucet and carry on. So I thought maybe you might want to tell people
Sure.
what was your first experience with the guy you dated named Len, who was starting to pull away, and you started to get that oh, this is a guy who's starting to pull away, starting to disappear.
Yeah, I mean, I think at first it didn't, right at the beginning, it didn't feel that way. It felt very like we were connecting, and um, there were some things that I was still curious about with him, right? And so we kept seeing each other um, maybe once a week, and then, but there was not that, then as things progressed, like there was another week and then another week, and then all of a sudden, so it was probably we had started right around the holidays, like at the end of December, we had been out on a date and had a really nice time. And then we were like, oh, let's get together again. And so then there was the holiday and we came back and we saw each other a few times. And, but then it started to get more spread out and things weren't building, like we weren't connecting. I remember you telling me that I had to like have a conversation with him about like what he's looking for and
Oh
tell
my
him
God.
what
Yeah. So
I'm looking for.
let's pause there because I want to dive into that in a second. So this is really important. So this is like typical of what happens, right? Like you meet a guy, it's exciting. Now, this was one of the first guys that you were super excited about too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I had yeah, I mean, I think it was the first person that I was kind of connected to. I mean, I had been out on I don't know how many. I had a first date problem too, which we
Right. We solved
but
that.
not with right, we solved that. And with him, we went out several dates and yeah, I mean, I feel like it was the first time I had really connected with somebody, but at the same time, I was also feeling like I was having a hard time talking to him, and I don't have a hard time. I don't have a hard time talking to people. So I was really scared about bringing up or like stating that what I was looking for is a long-term relationship. And he was really into me physically, and I was like, um, I don't see where this is going. What are you looking for? And I would say I'm looking for a long-term committed relationship. And he's like, me too.
So you were super confused because his words
I
were
was,
saying one thing and his actions were saying another.
yes.
Okay, so what
And
happened? So did you have the
so what happened
conversation?
was, so what happened was, the last time I saw him, we had a great time, although it was still somewhat disconnected. Um, and I could just feel something was off, but then I was out of town and, anyway, I didn't hear much from him. And then I didn't hear anything from him. This is going into mid-February, like Valentine's Day came and went. And then I think I was like, I haven't heard from him in like 5 or 6 days. It's like pulling teeth to get a text back. And so I ended up sending him hey, I've noticed we haven't been in touch. I'm feeling disappointed And it seems like there's not a connection. I'm looking for this. And it doesn't seem like um, that it's really working out with us. If I'm wrong, let me know. I mean, literally within 2 minutes, he had written me back like, "Oh, you're so right. There wasn't, I'm really attracted to you, but I wasn't feeling a connection either." Done.
Done. Okay. So this is huge. So when I was talking before about being a woman who says yes to herself, right? Like,
Hmm.
talk about how you like, because this was like scary, right? You were having to be really courageous to do
Yeah,
this.
I mean, my
Yeah.
background is that I mean, I got divorced 3 years ago, and this was my first like experience like making out with somebody and like being around somebody who wasn't my ex-husband who I'd been married to for 15 years. And so it was really all new for me. So it was like really pushing a lot of my boundaries about like just dating after 20 years and getting beyond. So it was like first I went on a lot of first dates, right? And then I ended up like going on several dates with this one guy, which I think was really good practice for me because I got to have that experience of like, I am not having sex with you um
Right.
right now. I'm just not. I'm like and like this is fun and everything, but this is not what I want. And so I really
Right.
felt like I was able to stand in my own um I just knew it wasn't to the place where it needed to be for me to feel comfortable with that.
I love it. So you said yes to yourself. You said yes to what you wanted, even though it was scary. You had a really vulnerable conversation. So
Yeah.
when he said no, I'm not interested. I mean, I'm
Uh-huh.
guessing you were sad, but also what did it feel like to feel like rejection proof, meaning that you didn't feel like you were rejected, like there was something wrong with you?
Oh, I mean, I was just relieved that there was resolution. And then, like, within the next week, I was back on, like, I just knew what to do. Like, oh, I need to go back on and, like, get back out there. And I had, like, several dates in February, beginning of March before we were on lockdown.
And then
So,
tell
yeah.
everybody what happened. So here's the thing, and this is why I love it that Julie was rejection proof because that happened in February. There's a whole lockdown, the whole world's freaking out. But Julie's like, wait, I have a dating strategy, I have a plan. I still know how to turn on the faucet. I'm not letting damn COVID or anything get in my way. So give us like the highlight version of what happened and where you are now.
I mean, well, first there was an ass kicking by Marnie. And then, and then, um, I just I just implemented, like, I just went for it and, like, sent a bunch of messages and had Zoom dates, and, some were great and some were terrible and some were awkward, and, there were people I sort of was interested in that just disappeared. And then, there was this one person who, and Marnie, you'll laugh at this because I actually didn't follow the rules. And it was a mistake though. Like I messaged the guy I'm dating now twice, like in within a week, just saying, "Hi, how are you?" Like, and he was like, "Give me a minute. I'm still reading your profile."
Oh my
'Cause
God,
it's
that's
really
your
long.
amazing profile. We helped you, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, ha 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 ha. Anyway, so he's like, let's just chat for a little while. So we messaged back and forth, and then he was like, you're interesting. Like, then we talked on the phone, and anyway, that was we matched, I think, in mid-April, and then we didn't meet in person. We did a socially distant walk in early June, maybe late May. I was on a call.
Yeah, it's like
Anyway,
go on that date.
it was a last minute thing, and I was like, oh wait, should I go anyway? So we went on this walk, and then it was even still after that, like, because we both have kids and whatever, it was hard to, but we kept in touch. And at that point we had already, I don't know, like, I had started losing interest in looking for anyone else, and I think he wasn't really active looking for anyone either, and we really hit it off in the first call, have a lot of commonalities, common value systems, and really just like intellectual and creative interests that I mean, I felt like I could talk to him forever. So,
And so now he's your.
he's still out of town, Marnie. I haven't been able to have that conversation.
That's so
We're
funny.
dating.
I'm making Julia have the official boyfriend conversation, even though they've agreed to be exclusive.
I
That's so funny.
did. You would be proud though, because we don't talk a ton on the phone. And yesterday I was like, he's out of town, and I was like, I feel weird. Why do I feel weird? And I just texted him. I'm like, can we talk on the phone? Like, can we talk like on the actual phone? He's like, sure. So we talked on the phone last night. I'm like, you ask, and then if they like you, they just want to make you happy. If they're a good guy.
So wait, please, like, somebody type what she just said in the chat, because that's the bottom line. If they like you, they want,
and they're a good guy. Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, I just thank you for coming on and sharing your story, because I told it and I didn't have all the juicy details, and we're all women and we like to hear the juicy details. But I just really want to honor you, because you really worked through that reveal, release, rejuvenate, and you didn't let circumstances or any guy get in the way, and you kept stating what you needed. You kept asking for clarification, and then you just called it in an empowered way. And because he wasn't a total jerk, he actually answered you. You had resolution because you're attracting a better quality guy. And then you just go through the process, you meet your match, and you have a guy who you're exclusive with in a pandemic. So I just want to say publicly, congratulations. It's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And I will say, it's not super easy, and like things still come up, and I'm, every step of the way there's a little bit something else where I'm like, isn't it supposed to be easy now? But it's, it's like a total learning process every step of the way. And I've just been so grateful for your support, Marnie, but also really like kind of amazed to have an experience like this after, that is a very different experience than the relationships I've been in before. So.
I love it. Julie, throw Julie some love in the comments.
Thank you.
She's so brave. She's so courageous. You're amazing and inspirational. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
I love that. Thank you, Craig, for getting her on the show. You're amazing. All right. So number 3, number 1, let's review. You have to create chemistry. You have to love yourself. You have to have self-worth. And then you have to lose that down 10%. The way you do that is reveal, release, rejuvenate. You become rejection proof. You have a strategy to meet men. Number 4, you have to leverage your time, and you have to leverage this time, right? So here's the thing. I just turned 54 in June. And my mom died when she was 64. My dad died. He's like 76. And the older you get, the younger everyone else is. Like what? My mom died when she was 64. When I was like in my 30s, I was like, oh, she was 60. Now I'm like, holy shit. But the bottom line is this. And this is so true. And I think of one of our clients, Erda from Australia. She came to me and she was like, in her mid 50s. And she worked through this whole process, and she met this guy actually loving her life. She met him out on a trek in Nepal. And she wrote me an email recently because we redid our website. We're connecting with some of our clients. And she wrote me this really beautiful email. And she said, I wake up every morning grateful that I did this work because I've had 3 years with my boyfriend. And then she gave me this whole list of all these amazing adventures they've been on. Kilimanjaro. I mean, like all these incredible things, right? And she said, I'm so glad that I didn't waste one more minute of my life, because the last 3 years have been my happiest. I'm living a life beyond what I could have imagined. And that's what I really want to say to you, is that every day that you don't do something about it is a day that you could have been living an amazing life, like Julie and the guy she's dating now, right? Like having an experience she's never had in her life, right? So it's time. And Julie's a great example. Like now is the best time. The truth is, the really quality guys, like they're ready. They're looking for someone. They're looking for their top 10%. And because of COVID, they're just like, let's just have a person. Like, I don't want to mess around anymore. The men are reprioritizing too. So why would you not take advantage of literally of all my career, the last 13 years I've been doing this. This is literally the best time to date. I can't tell you how many clients we have that do this work, that they follow the dating process, the strategy, even when they break the rules a little bit, and are able to actually start living the life that they know in their heart they're meant to live. So, I mean, that's all I can really say, right? Now is the time. The bottom line, I keep saying the bottom line, but I have lots of bottom lines. Because I want to like underscore this is that you've never worked on that 10% before because you probably don't even know what it is. So it's really easy to get into like, I've tried everything, or I went to therapy, or I did this, or I did that, or whatever your story is. Don't let your story become your excuse. Figure out what your why is. I always ask every single woman that I get to work with, what is your why? You know, and for some people it's, you know, because I want to finally love myself and not have anyone. Someone said, don't let them take your power. I don't want to be a woman who lets anybody take my power away. I want to be rejection proof for me, not so that I can get the guy. Some people will say, because I've never in my 50s, 40s, 30s, 70s, I've never really had healthy emotional love where I totally trusted somebody, trusted myself, and felt seen and heard. And there's no way I'm dying without that. Right? So find your why and don't waste any time. You just need a process, right? Reveal, release, rejuvenate. Focus on the part that I promise you've never worked on before. All right. Number 5. I love this part. Okay. So, number 5 is really amazing. And it's this. In order to prevent disappearing man syndrome or handle it like Julie did, and never feel unimportant, to never feel disempowered again, you have to figure out what that 10% is. And it's in there is like an ember, and it's time to create a spark and literally ignite your life. It's time to take what's not working, figure it out, and use that and leverage that to actually create the flame and the love and the joy and the peace and the intimacy that you really, really want, which is why we are having an amazing 3-day event in September called Ignite Your Life. So number 5 is Ignite Your Life with a mentor. So Craig, do you want to roll this clip?
Help me help you. Help me help you. Help me help you.
Help me help you. Help me help you. Help me help you. Literally, right? Like, I want to help you do this. It is not freaking rocket science. You need more than advice. I mean, look, we get so many people asking questions. Maybe people are asking here, like wanting advice. I believe advice is a disservice, right? Because I can tell you what to do, but even if I plop the most freaking amazing guy in your lap, and Julie just gave examples of 3 times during that process where I had to kick her ass so she didn't screw it up because she's never had something so amazing before. Right? Even if I plop the most amazing guy, I don't live with you. You can't ask me. You're not my kids, right? What should I do? What should I say? Besides, I want you to be empowered. I want you to be able to sustain an amazing relationship, because if you're here, you probably never had anything that is what you want to have in your future, right? So just be honest. You need more than advice. You have to ask yourself, how much time are you prepared to waste? Right? Because you have an opportunity to make sure that you're not one of those people that says, I wish 2020 was freaking canceled. Because guess what? It's not canceled. It's fucking here. It's not canceled, people. Life is not a funny meme, right? So it's not. Craig's laughing. Right? So like, make this the best year. What would it look like if life was happening for you instead of to you? I think Tony Robbins said that recently, right? Like, what happens if life is happening for you and not to you? Because it's happening for you. But right now, what if exactly you needed to go through this shitty ass damn freaking pandemic? You needed to suffer with all those douchebags and jerks who disappeared, so that you'd be so frustrated you would find yourself on a damn Facebook Live, right? That you would come to my webinar, that you would come to this show because you want to change it. What if actually all of that happened right now so that you could be like Julie, right? And there's so many Julies. So I want you to understand that if you have someone like me who actually specializes in this, that it can be easy, right? And Julie said it's hard, and it is hard, but it doesn't have to be the same kind of hard that you're experiencing now. And I'm sure if she was here and if she was still on, she will tell you that she would choose this hard anyway, any day, rather than what her life looked like before when I met her, which we didn't have time to go into, where she said she was so upset after her divorce, spending a winter literally like knitting herself into her couch and building a table, a dining room table with her bare hands to try and feel better. Right? So she had lots of clothes and lots of great furniture, but she was lonely. So you have a choice. You can take all this information, you go, yeah, woohoo, Marnie, thanks, and then go back and do the same thing. Or you can take action and you can actually take this opportunity and say yes to yourself, right? You can be the yes queen and ignite your life. So I have another little special thing to show you, which is my official invitation to you.
If you've never done a virtual retreat before, I would say definitely do it with Marnie. She has a way of making everyone feel as if you were actually in the room with her. I highly recommend it.
Stand by, everybody. Here we go. 3, 2.
We are here to be the women who change history. If you have ever dreamed of being a light in the world, it's time to turn up the light inside. We've been preparing for the last 5 months to do something we have not done in 5 years in a way we've never done before for this many people. Here's what we have. We have a broadcast studio with screens and monitors, and we're going to use these tools to ignite your life, turn up your light right from where you are. All of this so I can see you, interact with you, love on you, and push you to go beyond your comfort zone, harnessing the collective energy of all of us as women and combine that with a proven process so that we can literally ignite your life so that you can have the relationship you want, the life you want, and have it all in a way that's meaningful to you.
It felt so immersive. You just completely forgot that you're sitting in your living room or wherever you're sitting by yourself, because you really felt like you were connected into this community. You felt the energy coming through the screen.
It's time to get past your fear, blow up the life and the crap that isn't working, and do that which takes courage. Be fierce. We're going to create that. We're going to give you the courage to make the shifts necessary to ignite your life to a life where you feel like you are on fire. Take the things that are happening to you, to us, and understand how it's actually working for you. You have an opportunity to enjoy this life right now. Let's not take it for granted. Let's not wait. This is your life on fire. Ignite your life.
You are insane. You are amazing. Thank you. I found myself, I reinvented myself, and I feel like I'm back on track. Marnie, you and your team are incredible.
That makes me just want to go, yes! So here's the thing. We have this process, reveal, release, rejuvenate. I literally was just putting some touches on the whole program right before this show. It is so amazing, so exciting, and so freaking powerful. You have an opportunity to literally change your neural programming, change the wiring, do it in a really amazing community. And because I was so called to do this, I feel like in my life that COVID-19 has been working for me, and I have just been so called to help more and more women than we ever have before. And it was just like clear as day, like my mission, because I think this world is really crazy right now, right? And I know that I am a woman who wants to turn up the light in the world. And I know the best way to do that is to turn up my own light. And it just hit me. And I was like, if I can find the women that want to turn up the light in the world by turning up their own light, right? By igniting your life, creating more love, more passion, more connection, more communication, more chemistry, more fun, more joy, then we women, we can actually make an impact and change this crazy ass world that we're living in for ourselves, for our kids, for generations to come. So we decided to make it super affordable. So it's $97, right? $97. I mean, honestly, 3 days, $97. Say yes to yourself because you want a guy to say yes to you. Commit to yourself because you want a quality guy to commit to you. So all you need to do is go to, Craig, are you putting it up?
Yeah, it's up right now.
IYLVIP.com. I'm going to tell you what we're going to cover. I'm going to answer your questions because last time we did this show with a closed studio, so people couldn't ask questions. And I'm just going to be here and answer your questions and really coach you, help you, support you. Craig's going to be like my wingman, my Prince Charming. We've been doing this forever. You saw him in the video, perhaps. So I want to hear your questions. Now, here's the thing. Before I even tell you like what's included in the program, I want to tell you that I've decided to sweeten the pot because one thing I know is that when people are like, yeah, that sounds great, I'll think about it, their life folds back in. I know for me, I'm like, that sounds cool. Ugh, I have to look at my calendar. I have to deal with it. And then I just wait and I wait and I wait. And then like shit happens and I never do it. And then I'm like, damn, that thing happened and I totally missed it. And I can't tell you when I'm going to be doing this again. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to sweeten the pot. So we have a process. I only teach it with my high-end clients. They pay tons of money to get this process. And it's called the wrecking ball process. And it's actually an experiential process that you go through that will actually take the guy that's ghosted you or disappeared or someone you have a crush on, or maybe all of them, right? And literally you do this wrecking ball process and you feel like 1,000,000 pounds are lifted off your shoulders and you will be free from these freaking guys who literally ghosted you, but yet they are holding this power over you, right? All those pinches. So would you like to empty out the bag of pinch? Right? The pinch. It's like, I imagine emptying the bag and all these, I think in memes, all these little dude heads like falling out or rolling away off the grass. So I have some notes. I want to make sure. So any guy that you put on a pedestal, any guy that left you, if you're having a hard time moving away from him, if you're scared to let go of it, we will absolutely be covering that in this process that we walk you through. And by the way, if there's somebody who comes back, because COVID is real, men are coming out of the damn woodwork. Has anyone, Craig, from you come back from the past?
What do you mean?
Like, you know, COVID people are like, hey, how you doing? People that you haven't heard from in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I've also done the same
You've
thing.
done the same thing.
I reach out to people.
Right.
That's what you're supposed to do. It's about reminding us to connect.
Right, exactly. So any guy and you're like, wait, should I trust that guy? He totally ghosted me. We're going to like give you an actual process conversation outline to make sure that you don't waste your time and you pull a Julie like, hey, this is what I'm here to do. And he'll either play or he won't. So if you register by midnight tonight, PST, you will get this wrecking ball process. I mean, come on. Why would you not? $97 plus this. And the other thing is, we are going, in order for you to be in this experience that this event is going to be, which is not a Zoom call, please, I'll tell you more about that later if you want to know. We're actually sending you this massive swag box. It's got cool stuff in it, and it's not like that cheap shit you get at a carnival. These are really important pieces that you're actually going to be using for the process, right? So we need to mail those out by the beginning of next week, right? By Monday. So we need your address, and you're going to get this amazing, beautiful thing in the mail, right? So you also need to join now because you want to get that, right? You don't want to be one of those people who's like, oh, I registered too late. So I want, when people say, I don't know, that means to me, and I coach people on this all the time, it means I don't want to deal with it. So I am literally incentivizing you because I know you're like me, right? Like, I'm too busy. I don't like details. I'm telling you right now, I've decided to incentivize you so that you can take action. And also I want to send you you need your box, you need your swag. And you're going to literally go, wow, when you open this box. It's my favorite part when you open the box and you go, wow, at the beginning. So, well, it's not really my favorite part, but it's one of my favorite parts. So it's $97. It's IYLVIP.com. So I know there's always a delay. So Craig, let's take questions. If anyone has questions about the process, about the event, and then I can kind of start talking about what we're going to cover. And by the way, the $97 thing that goes up. I am a person of integrity. I hate marketing and sales bullshit. I'm not telling you this like, oh, because I'm going to, blah, 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 blah. No, the price will go up. I just really want to make this as available, and I want to incentivize you to put it on your calendar and show up for yourself. But it will go up because I want to incentivize you to show up and make it important, right? I want this work to be important for you so you don't ever have to be in a conversation with a bunch of women talking about what douchebags guys are because they ghost. And you can tell if you go in our Facebook group, by the way, you can tell the women that have done this work because they're always like supporting and helping the women that show up really lost and frustrated and feeling like their self-worth is at risk. Okay, Craig, do we have any questions so far?
Well, we do have some people that have asked some questions in that. Someone was saying here, can you be my mentor? I love this. So that was from Tish.
Tish.
Yeah, she wants you to be her mentor.
IYLVIP.com. I love to mentor you, and we'll have fun. I'm very funny.
Someone was wondering if you could give a little sneak peek as to what's in the box.
Ooh, what's in the box? Did you guys ever see Dick in a Box? Justin Timberlake's dick is not going to be in the box. A sneak peek. Wow. I'm not sure if I should or not.
I don't know. I think
here's the thing.
When you get it in the mail, they're going to be excited.
Yeah.
To open it, and it's usable stuff.
Yeah, and it's stuff for the process. But I promise you. So we call them a wow box because we did a private retreat just for our existing clients in June. Craig was part of that. And why I say it was my favorite part is because the clients videotaped themselves opening it, and it was literally so fun to have them go, wow. And then they'd like unwrap the thing and they'd be like, wow. So you're just going to say, wow. And I don't want to spoil the surprise. It's like when you watch a trailer for a movie and it's like, you just told me the whole damn movie.
So, all right. So here's the deal. We've got somebody who is watching right now from Australia.
I love it.
And they're a little torn because Australia is in a different hemisphere. The
time zone
is really different. So that's really what their concern is. And I know what you're going to say. So I'll let you take this, of course. It says, I'm joining from Australia. Can't attend due to the time difference. Can I still watch later?
So right now we're not going to have the recordings available. And if we did, and I'm totally open to it, but it would be like, we'll send them to you like 30 days later or something, right? Because the thing is, this is a process. It's not just a webinar where you watch a bunch of information and take notes. I need to work with you in the experience, and you need to be able to partner up with people, and I really need you to have the experience. So I'm open to like making that possibly available later. But what I want to tell you is this. We have lots of clients from all over the world. And some people stay up late, and some people do the best they can. And some people have a partner that they meet and they say, can we do this exercise together later? And people, I mean, we have a client who's in the UK who, she's up with us at 2 a.m, right? Doing the thing. So, I'm not saying that that's fun to stay up late, but what I want to tell you is this. If you had to give up 3 days and be a little cranky and miss some parts, but do the work because we're going to take care of you. And it was uncomfortable, but you knew that you were going to be like Erda, my other client in Australia, with your man. Would you look back 5 years from now and be like, ugh, I'm so mad I did that thing for 3 days? I'm going to keep you awake. I promise.
Okay, so next up we've got some more ladies. So feel free to
ask your questions
right in the comments there. Somebody was asking. This is a pretty good question here, and I think you will be able to apply. They say I registered on Saturday for the first live show, and I didn't get the incentive. Will I receive those as well?
Yes, you will. I just made an executive decision.
Very exciting. See, that's how this
I
works.
love it. See, you ask for what you want.
That's right.
I love it.
That is, and we've got somebody else says, what are the ages of people who join this webinar in September?
Oh my gosh. Well, I would say generally 30s to 60s, right? And probably most people are in their 40s and late 50s and early 60s. I mean, we have a client right now who's in her 70s, right? So there's never too damn late. So all different ages. What's really fun about that is, and it'll blow your mind, is you'll be working in a small group or you'll be connecting with someone and you're 60 and she's 35 and she'll talk about her pain, how she feels about herself or her experiences, and you'll be like, wow, when we have this thing, this man thing, and by the way, I have it, right? That's why I do this work. It's this commonality, and what's really beautiful, and that's why we do it in a group like this, and Brene Brown talks about this in such lovely ways, but when you are vulnerable and you share with other women who are so different from you in a million ways, and you find that commonality and you are vulnerable, you actually vanish your shame. And it's a really amazing thing to understand that you are not alone, and it doesn't matter where you live or how old you are, what size you are, or how skinny you are, how rich you are, whatever, that when this is your thing, it's your thing. And to be able to solve it with a group of really smart, amazing women is a blessing. So very different women, very common. What else you got for me, Craig?
Ladies, we only have a few minutes left. So
we
if
do.
you have any questions left
to
ask, please feel free to type them into the comments right now. We'll get them. We'll get right to them. We'll get them to Marnie. So go ahead and type your questions in. When you said that, somebody just said, I keep looking.
I know. I'm looking at you, but you all are here.
Somebody just said, I'm going to put it up on the screen here. It says, oh no, I'm out because I'm 23 years old.
Oh my God, come. No, totally come. In fact, honestly, come. I've had a handful of amazing young women. First of all, I just have a soft spot because, my kids are now 18, 22, and 25. So come. Sometimes they call me in the middle of the night with their friends. But here's the thing. I have this group of women that I helped in their 20s, and they're beautiful. And there is nothing more thrilling for me than to see them now with their partners. Some of them, I've been doing this for 13 years. So some of them now are in their 30s, right? And they met this guy in their mid to late 20s or whatever. And now they have children. And one of my clients, Katie, has 3 kids now. And I love, hashtag Burton of party of 5, and I can guarantee you, and I'm sure people will tell you in the chat, if you have a chance to solve this shit in your 20s, oh girl, do it. $97. Please, please, please let me get my hands on you. We need to change this generationally, right? If I can help you, then you're going to be a more empowered woman at work. You're going to meet a great guy. You're going to raise your children this way. By the time you're my age in your 50s, most of your life will have felt an alignment and whole and loving. And so, gosh, please do it. You are so in. Let me tell you what Craig's looking for, what we're going to do in day 1, 2, and 3, because I know I didn't have a chance to answer that the other day. And I'm not going to go into too much detail because at IYLVIP.com, there's all the details, but we actually walk you through this process. It is a process. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And on day 1, we do the reveal work. So that's where we're going to actually hone in on that 10%. We have a hack or a technology or whatever you want to call it, where you don't need to go to therapy for 6 months or 6 years to figure this out, because this is our area of specialty. So we will take you through a process. You will just be like, oh my God. The stuff that you're going to realize about why you're leaking that negative sort of dissonant energy is just going to be mind-blowing. What's really cool about it is that then we actually do the work through the end of day 1 and day 2 to release it and heal it. And we kind of crack you open, and then we put you back together finally in your authentic self, right? To be free from that old identity of the single one, of the forever auntie, or the one who can't find love, or the one who gets treated poorly, to get over the crumbs guy. I mean, the wrecking ball, right? The guy who ghosted. You're going to walk into day 3 where we do the rejuvenate. And that's where we talk about How do you show up as that top 10%, right? Like, what are the guys looking for? How do you show up totally authentic, very confident, but also vulnerable? How do you do feminine in 2020, right? And we'll talk about the different kinds of men that you might meet so that you can start to filter them out, right? Because you're going to be empowered and you're going to be actually in charge and in control. So you can be collecting some data. So we're going to help you have a great filter system. And we'll talk about what it's like to date during a pandemic and help you get started on that path. So that's what we're going to be doing. It's beginning, middle, and end, reveal, release, rejuvenate. Any other questions?
We do.
Good. I love questions.
Yes. So this is a good one here. This is like so. I mean, like this. So perfect. So here it is. This one says, let me put it on the screen here. So Natalie says, is this 3-day event applicable for somebody who hasn't been ghosted? I mean, how nice is that for you? Yeah, good. It hasn't been ghosted, but keeps attracting the wrong men. Narcissistic or immature, can't communicate. Marnie, what do you say?
Yes. Okay, so here's the thing. I could have picked an episode that was like how to stop, attracting the wrong guy for you. I could have named this episode, how do you change it so that the guys that you like are actually interested in you? Right? Like, the bottom line is it all has the same origin, right? And so what we need to do is we need to really figure out what is the 10% in you, that there's some part of you. And we talk about this at the beginning of day 2. I'm so excited about it. About what is that wiring and where does it come from that has actually got you attracting this pattern, right? There's some familiarity in it, even though it's intellectually like absolutely not what you want and you know better, right? So we need to like hone in on that and then rewire, do that rewiring. So yes, if you just attract the same wrong guy over and over again, if you attract the same kind of guy with a different face over and over again, if you are in a relationship and you're not sure if you should stay or you should go, you should totally come to this event because it's really about igniting your life, right? It's like, how do I start to become a woman who is living courageously? Here's the thing. We teach you how to date with dignity, how to be in a relationship with dignity. But the way you do that is living courageously. I think if you play back Julie's segment, like there were all these points where she had to be courageous, right? Lots of them. And that's what we're really, really teaching you how to do, is to show you that in order to date with dignity, you have to live courageously and really show you what that looks like. So yes, if you would like to ignite your life in this area, please, please, please come. $97 to get the wrecking ball and the swag box.
The swag box, the wrecking ball. And I've been, like I said, I've been with Marnie for so many years, and $97 to work with Marnie for like minutes is tough. But to work with you for 3 days is, and I know it sounds like I'm selling, but I've seen it. It's amazing. For 3 days, $97, you can't beat it. So, and that brings us to our next question. What is the cutoff, Marnie, for that $97 regular price and getting on the goodie list?
Okay, tonight at midnight. PST. PST. So I don't know how many hours. We need a countdown clock.
Yeah, we're like 5.5 hours.
Just do it now.
That's right.
Here, let's see. I could see. I can say congratulations.
Oh wow, we call out the congratulations.
I know. I could do it. Well, let's see. Well, I'll let I turn my phone off, but I can see what's coming in here. We'll see if we got I love it. This is so fun. So let's see. Brenda gets a congratulations. I love somebody who's just like, yeah, I'm in. Alexandra from Denver. Oh, where is and New York. By the way, Brenda, and then I'll refresh it in a minute. New Manhattan. I know it sounds crazy because it's COVID and all that, but our clients are crushing it in New York. Our clients are crushing it wherever they live. But I think so many cities have like bad reputations for dating. And it's funny when I talk to women, they're like, "Oh, you don't understand. I live in New York." Or people in big cities say, "Oh, I live in a big city. It's so hard." People who live in a small town say, "Oh, it's so hard. I wish I lived in a big city." What we're going to do is we're going to make your circumstances irrelevant. Literally, I don't care if you're a size 2 or a size 14 or size 16 or you're 23 or you're 73. That is all irrelevant, because remember, there are men out there, and I say this all the time because I've actually talked to the men who are partnered with my clients. And I just got a literal wedding announcement from someone who came to IYL many years ago. She met her boyfriend right after, and they got married like a year ago. And she was like, "Oh my God, I realized I never sent you a thank you card." But the bottom line is, these men, they say to me, "I don't know what you did, but thank you. Because I can't believe I am the luckiest guy in the world." Right? Like, I can't believe that whatever you did, thank you, so that I could find this amazing person. And I have heard that so many times. And I really want you guys to know, there is literally a man out there right now, you guys are on a path, and you have an opportunity, right, to go on the path of resonance or to go this way, and he's going to keep going. Right? So I want you to understand that there's an amazing guy who you're his perfect person. Or as they say on Love Island, you're perfect person if you're from Ireland. So be found, right? Like, if it's a little ember, he's not going to see you. You have to ignite your life, right? You have to have a flame, right? That's so, so powerful. Any other questions?
Yes, we do have one. Tish was asking, and can she spread the love to her 24-year-old daughter?
Of course. I love mother-daughter. In fact, we had when we did our little client retreat, we have 2 clients that are roommates. Celia, if it was the same Celia, and they decided to, they're quarantining together because they're roommates, and they did it together. So you could totally do it with your daughter. How fun is that if you're in the same space or you're doing however you're doing your pandemic? But please, I would love to have a whole set of women in their 20s. And then oh my God, just think if I would have known this shit in my 20s, oi. Now we wouldn't have our kids, Craig.
Right.
Right. So it all worked out. But oh my gosh, the heartache. But that's why, my why, ladies, by the way, was my kids. Because when I was in my crazy zone, I did a podcast episode, the Jordan Harbinger show. He's got a great, big, huge podcast. And anyway, he interviewed me. And it was really fun. And then he said, "Hey, I finished the episode." And he showed me the title because I was talking about my story. And the name of the episode was this: when you date the psycho ex-girlfriend. I was the psycho girlfriend, right? And so I had my moment, and I was like, "Look, I'm not going to change for me, because I can take a shit ton of pain. You can treat me like shit, and I will figure out a way to take some more." However, I was like, I have 3 daughters, right? And at the time they were young, right? They were 2, 7 and 9 or whatever they were. They were little. And I was like, if I pass this on to them, I literally couldn't live with myself. Right. And so, I love that I have empowered dignity daters, right, that live courageously. And so if you can't do it for yourself, find someone to do it for, right? And what's really cool is these young ladies, and that's why I love young people to be here, is because if you have emotional intelligence, like we're going to start to teach you in this weekend, I mean, you'll make more money at work. You'll have better relationships with your family. You'll have healthy, intimate relationships. You'll be a better friend. This is really igniting all parts of your life so that you can have it all, whatever it and all is to you.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I've seen through many of the women that you have touched and transformed. It's more than just dating. It's everything. I've seen women that have said my work, people are respecting me more at work. I've seen people say I'm making more money now because I feel more confident about who I am. And one of the questions here, the same girl who asked, is I was 23, am I too young? Also want to know, what are the chances of meeting a guy through a webinar in September?
Well, that's actually really funny, because one thing I didn't tell you is Saturday night. We are legendary. We have a legendary little thing called the Man Panel. Now, I have had on occasion men from the man panel ask out women from our events. Now, it will be virtual, but hey, maybe you can slide into his DMs. So what we do is, and it's going to be really fun, we bring a panel of single guys of all ages to the show, to the event, and you're going to get to submit your questions. And I will be asking your questions of the guys, and they're going to tell you really like inside the locker room what are men thinking and doing. And by the way, I forgot to tell you this. So we do have extra goodies. So we have a VIP all access pass. And that VIP all access pass is when you join for 97, you're going to totally go to the man panel. Everything is yours. If you want to do like a little VIP thing, I sometimes like to do that. You'll get some extra goodies. So Friday night after reveal day, which is like, pulling the carpet up and like digging into all this crap, we're going to have an extra bonus dessert session with myself and our master coach, Sherry, where you're going to actually be able to ask us questions in a smaller group and live, and we'll answer your questions about stuff that came up during the day. And who I wanted a little surprise about the box. Well, let me just say that if you're do VIP, desserts on me. Little teaser there. I bet you can't even imagine what I mean by that. And then Saturday night, the man panel. So the group is going to do the man panel. You guys are going to have a chance to ask all your questions. I'm going to answer them. We aggregate them. We've done this a million times. Those who do VIP, after the general session closes, we're going to actually go inside the locker room. Craig's going to take us inside the locker room. Right. And then you guys I'm going to unmute you. You're going to actually be able to ask your questions live. And so you could do some flirting as well. I'm going to invite you guys to kind of get your date outfits on for Saturday night, right? Put your little ring light up. Practice for your Zoom dates. So that's going to happen. And then there's also and it sounds so crazy, but it's going to be a thing because you can't imagine what this virtual experience is like because it's not a Zoom call and it's literally impossible to describe until it's like the wow box. You're going to be like, wow, we have an actual guest suite for the VIPs where you can just have your own little hangout, and we have some special things planned in the VIP guest suite. So those are some things. If you want to upgrade, it's an extra $197, just more access, more intimacy with the man panel, with us, and you get to hang out with the other ladies in the VIP lounge.
Fantastic.
It is.
Well, Marnie, I think that is now getting us to our final time with these lovely ladies who have been on here through Facebook, through YouTube. It has been such an amazing time. And Marnie, I want to thank you for taking the time to share all of this information with us, answering all these questions from these amazing women, and thanking all of you for joining us from wherever you are in the comfort of your own home, car, or work. And it's just been amazing. Marnie, before we leave, anything you want to leave everybody?
Congratulations to Trudy and Jennifer and Linda and Karina. And then they're coming in and they're not downloading as fast as they are registering. So congratulations. I'm so excited. Look, here's the thing. And I say this from here. You have an opportunity to take this time that we're all in and create sacred space for yourself and focus on the thing that will probably be the most important to you when you look back on your life. Having, been with my husband when my dad died versus when my mom died and I didn't have a partner, right? In February, I had a really massive ski injury. I broke my back, right? I'm still in recovery. Having that person there, not only to be with me at the hospital in the emergency room, but, when I literally can't get up off the toilet myself, right? I think that's some of the things that we think about, right? Like, what will I do? I don't want to be alone, but also I want to be with that person who's going to love me through it, right? Because in the end, that's really the most important thing, right? To be seen, to be known, to be loved, to love someone, to experience that in this lifetime. And I know that if you do this work, you will get off the treadmill you will stop the patterns and you will become a woman who is living a life. And I really want you to understand this, literally beyond what you can't imagine, beyond what you can imagine. And I'm kind of grateful in some ways that I have the COVID analogy now, right? Because if you would have asked any of us in January, what's life going to look like in August 2020, right? There is no way this could have even in your brain, you couldn't even imagine it. Well, what if there is joy, happiness, love, and partnership? Literally, your brain can't imagine it right now because your brain has that one pathway. Do you want to miss out on that? Right? Because I know that I can help you. I know our whole team can help you. And you're going to meet these amazing women. You're going to get to be with Craig, myself, my team. And you're also going to have just an experience online that will probably be unlike anything you've ever experienced. And that in itself will be a wow. When the first time I went to Universal Studios and I went on the Harry Potter ride, and I remember the whole time I was like, I didn't even know you could do this. I didn't even know this was a thing. Like I literally, like I was having fun, but my mind was blown because I literally didn't even know it was possible. Right. And this experience for 3 days will literally be something your brain can't even wrap around right now. And the last thing I'll say about that, for all of you who are adventurers and travelers and explorers and curious like me, since we can't go abroad, spend 3 days with me, be an explorer, be an adventurer, have an online community experience that you can't even imagine, meet amazing people, and make this be your adventure to cap off your summer and to start your fall as you go into the year. Because I want you to be someone on December 31st who says, not thank God 2020 is over, but thank God 2020 happened to me because I have a chance to find love, because I am in love, because I have someone special to share this holiday with and to celebrate the new year 2021. Don't wait till the fall. Do it now. Craig, anything else?
No, I think that's
a wrap.
Yeah.
All right. IYLVIP.com. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you. See you soon. Thanks for being here.
Well, there you go, ladies. Marnie right there. Go ahead, IYL right there. It's on the screen. Get on in there and get all those bonuses, all those goodies. And of course, you will have an incredible time. As Marnie said, we did this event, not this event. We did a smaller little type of virtual event, and it was incredible. I had the opportunity to help produce it. And one of the neat things, as you saw in that video, those women were actually there. It was the way they said it. They said they could not believe that sitting at their home, being a part of something that would be 3 days long, would be so immersive. They couldn't wait to get on, because I can't share how and why it works so well right now. But they were like, I never thought it would work out. I never thought I would want to wake up and get right to the screen. And that's what happened. So be a part of that. It's super exciting.
Get the wrecking ball.
Get the wrecking ball. Get the fun. Get the box. Right? JT won't be in the box, but there's going to be so many goodies that you'll do it, and of course it will change you forever. So we want to say thank you all for being here. Thank you for letting me be a part of this. Thank you for sharing this and being with us this evening. We hope that you have an amazing and an incredible rest of the evening and an incredible week. We're here if you need anything. Of course, you can hit us up through Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on and like us here on Facebook. Learn about the podcast, listen to the podcast. If anything here resonated with you, certainly put it in the comments. And thank you so much. You guys are amazing. We'll see you soon.